At a time when the N. Biren Singh-led government has launched what is being called War on Drugs 2.0, the state police chief has made some sensational revelations. While speaking exclusively to Northeast Live, Chief of Bureau Arundam Das, DGP Doungel admitted that there are black sheep within the police and other government departments who are involved in the drug trade, and that efforts are on to wipe them out. Not only this, DGP Doungel revealed that drug trade is main source of revenue for the state's insurgent groups who are encouraging people in remote areas to cultivate poppy. And what is concerning is that it is the rampant involvement in drug trade that enables these outfits to procure arms. The revelations come at a time when the state government has directed the police department to be ruthless in its war against drugs.
The Manipur police in the last 10 days have seized drugs worth over 50 crore rupees from various parts. So how are you continuing your crackdown on drugs in Manipur, sir?
Well, first of all, with the new government, this is a mandate. We have also been doing it on our own, but now we have got a new lease of life, and the way it has affected our society has been terrible. So we are doing our best to get to the bottom of this. That is how all the seizures have come to take place.
Well, sir, most of the seizure has been made from the More-Imphal highway. So what are your inputs saying, sir? Where are the drugs coming from, the source and the destination?
Well, as you pointed out, the highway, you can know that most of it is coming from the other side of the border. But at the same time, there is no denying that a lot of activities are also happening inside our own country. The bulk of the production, the chemicals which are used to process the drugs being available from across the border, as well as the raw materials being abundant that side in our area, as well as in the Burmese territory on both sides of the border. That is how the drugs are coming through this route.
Sir, looking at the type of seizure and the arrest, a few people from the police are also arrested this time. So how do you take forward this matter, sir?
Well, I can just give one case where we have caught a constable the other day. Immediately we have taken steps and dismissed him from service. Like whoever is involved, not only from the police but also from other government departments, we will be taking such stringent actions, and we will always be on our lookout that the black sheep are slowly removed from the force as well as from the other offices of the government.
Well, sir, Manipur is known to be a hotbed of militants, though the militancy has gone down right now. So do you have any inputs that the militant outfits active in Manipur or in residing in Myanmar are trying to peddle drugs or are involved in this drug peddling or smuggling?
Well, in the state, we know that some of the insurgent groups are involved in the encouraging drugs because it is one source of income, and also the people being poor and very remote. Government influence is not much. That they encourage people, even in other places also, which are close to the valley area. There also a lot of cultivation is going on. But of course, across the border, it is one of their main source of income, and they continue to do it regularly because this is one of the ways in which they not only have their source of income, but also the war that they wage against the people of the state, trying to bring them down. This is also one of their methods.
Well, sir, in the hill districts, we are getting reports that huge areas are under poppy cultivation right now, and there are reports that militant groups are involved in this cultivation. They are usually funding the cultivators and also getting the benefits after the crop is harvested.
Well, it is true that they are involved, the militants are involved, that is true. Uh, but at the same time, the people also do not have much source income. Moreover, the profit margin, as you know, it is so high that a person cultivating cabbage and potatoes and cultivating poppy is very different. So as much as we try to stop them from the police side also, the economic side also is important. But that does not mean we are shirking our responsibility. We shall definitely continue to do as we have been doing in the last few months or so.
Well, sir, do you see any nexus between the UG groups of Manipur with the international terrorists or drug smugglers in this whole drug smuggling case?
We do have some information, some inputs in this regard, but how deep it is and how widespread it is remains to be seen more and more. The whatever information that we have is from those people whom we have been able to catch, and the amount of knowledge that we have is dependent on the influence and the dealings that they have with those who are immediately next to them. So we know only to that level.
Sir, is the arms deal also related to the drugs smuggling?
Yes, because it is all money-based type of. It is all money-based. So on one side, you somehow secure money for the organization, and then use the money for other things like procuring arms. So all these things are interconnected, and the UGs also work in such a way that their supply of arms is continually being renewed through these drugs. Drugs is one of their main sources of income, apart from extortion and other things.
Well, sir, the new government has taken over and they have declared war on drugs. They have said it's war on drugs 2.0. So how do you plan forward to carry your crackdown on drug smuggling in your state?
Well, there are many avenues we are looking. This seizure and going after them, this is one of the steps. Apart from this, we are also strengthening our investigation, and we are also working more closely with the judiciary and the lawyers, because unless all the different forms of government, different departments of government work together, only one department working will not succeed, though it will have a very good effect. So our plan is not only in seizing, but also in getting people convicted, destroying whatever is also seized immediately, and then after obtaining, of course, permission from the courts, and then, of course, having conviction. And now we also have plans, we are going to execute it, that we even want to bind down the land that are cultivating all these poppies regularly, because the land is either owned by the village authorities or the forests or the government. So we know we can identify the land, and we can bound down the owners under CRPC and other acts.
All right, our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain, joins us over the phone line to give his perspective on this big development coming in from the state of Manipur. Well, Wasbir, massive revelations by the Manipur DGP, task cut out for the state police. What do you have to say?
Well, Pooja, this is extremely clear now that during his second term, Chief Minister Biren Singh has made the war on drugs as his topmost priority, and that his government is adopting a no-nonsense approach has been proved in the last fortnight since he has taken over power for the second time in Manipur. Now, the DGP's exclusive revelation to Northeast Live has revealed that the militants not only have nexus with drug cartels, they are the people. Militants are trading in drugs in the northeastern region. They are using full advantage of Manipur's proximity to the infamous Golden Triangle of Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and they are taking full advantage of that. and they are also encouraging poppy cultivators in Manipur, because they are the people who are encouraging poppy cultivators in Manipur because of the high profit margin. Now, in fact, these are several very, very big revelations for the first time in a television channel by the DGP of Manipur. DGP of Manipur, Mr. Doungel, had categorically stated that insurgents are pushing drug trade in Manipur and that a section of the police in Manipur are involved. He has described them as black sheep. In fact, at least one of the policemen have been dismissed from service because it has been now confirmed beyond doubt that he was involved in drug trade. And he has also said that bulk of the drugs are coming from across the border. Now, this is extremely significant because a couple of months ago it has become clear that there are several, high heroin manufacturing factories even within the territory of Manipur, close to the border with Myanmar. So these are very, very dangerous trend. This has got very, very serious ramifications for the younger generation or the youth in Manipur. And that is the reason why Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has taken upon himself to eradicate the drug menace in the northeastern region. In fact, this is one of his topmost priority, and the results are seen on the ground. And the revelations by the DGP, Mr. Doungel, is enough testimony that the police is on the job and the menace is absolutely real in Manipur.
Right, Wasbir, and one thing is clear that a drug trade is still the mainstay for insurgent groups, so it will not be easy to wipe out the menace.
Definitely it will not be easy, but it will definitely not impossible as well. It is definitely difficult, but it is not impossible. If the entire police and law enforcement as machinery, if they decide, if they are hell-bent to save the future generation of Manipur, at the end of the day, the policemen are also a product of the society. If the police in Manipur take it upon themselves that they are going to eliminate drug menace from the state, they can do it. And of course, the necessary political will is a must for the police to, go ahead full steam against such kind of nefarious activities, such kind of criminal activities like drug trade. And now that Biren Singh, the Chief Minister, has demonstrated his political will to take on the drug traffickers, drug peddlers, drug consumers, I think there is silver lining at the end of the day that this drug menace is going to be eradicated in Manipur. And of course, the civil society will also have to back the government in its support, and there is no reason why the civil society should not back the efforts of the Biren Singh government to eradicate this evil from the society.